getting that off before we get in trouble with the YouTube policies. What's up, everybody? It's Andrew here. Good to see everybody here today in the chat. Appreciate everybody who made it here. And big thank you to JP, who's starting off with 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. And a happy birthday, Andrew. Appreciate that. It is the big 4-0 for me today. So a little bit of thinking about, everything in your life at 40. I think that's pretty normal. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about the channel, about myself, everything. But I know it's good to be here today and have a live stream. It has been way too long since I've done a live stream. And, I always realize live streams are one of my strengths. So it's really something that I think I need to do more of. And I've been slacking a little bit. So a little bit hard on myself, but we're here today. And I appreciate everybody and everybody's been here for all the topics that we've covered. Because, it's kind of crazy how everything started and where I was 5 years ago versus now, because I have such a different perspective on a lot of issues from covering them. I've changed my mind on certain things. I've, updated the understanding of the law. I've learned about areas of the law that were not my core practice. So the one fun thing about doing this channel and about being with you guys and hanging out is I get to talk about stuff that maybe I normally wouldn't talk about, or that maybe somebody wouldn't pay you in the corporate America to talk about, right? Because, for example, when am I going to be paid to talk about VTubers? It's very rare, right? It's very rare. VTubers don't have money. So I mean, the corporations do, but the VTubers, don't get paid enough. But that said, it's fun to talk about all sorts of different topics, going over and covering Ethan Klein, Somali, clavicular. We got a bunch of stuff with bricks and minifigs, and a lot of new topics to cover, a lot of things to do. Trials are one thing that I know I want to, cover, but I want to make sure I do it right. I'm kind of with trials. You got to do it right. You got to be a perfectionist. So I definitely want to do some more of that when there's some really good ones coming up. Unfortunately, we've had some delays on some of the best cases, I think, that are out there that have been floating around. Also, there are some upgrades to the studio here. So I do have new lighting, but this is not, according to my editor, who I do trust. He's doing a fantastic job. I love it. According to my editor, the lighting is not perfect. So we're going to try to make it perfect. We're going to move this around. We're going to, try to make it a little bit better. I threw some paneling up in the background to cover for where my chair was backing up into the wall. And I may or may not, we're going to try to see in the future if I can have a dedicated studio. So that's something I don't want to make any promises on the timeline, but that's something that's my goal, is to have a dedicated studio that's just my studio and not my living space. So that's something that I'm going to work on this channel. And one thing that's been really interesting for me is, and I'll actually put up a poll in the chat. Let me ask you guys here. Do you prefer the shorter videos, live streams, or both? Because I want to know. I know it's a little bit biased because obviously you guys are here for a live, right? So a lot of people that show up for the lives prefer the lives. But for me, with how busy I try to keep myself and just having a personal life, doing other stuff, I like being able to put out a lot of different topics. I like to be able to cover a lot of different things, and live streams, sometimes when you have to do an hour, 2 hours of content, that's a lot for just the one live stream. But I do miss it because I miss interacting with you guys, and I think that's one of my strengths. One of the things I'm quite good at. All right, so let me drop that poll in the chat. You guys should have that out there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Is StreamYard working properly? Okay, there we go. McSkill says emotional cake win. Moodang is safe. Okay, guys, just so everybody knows. Moodang is indeed safe. Moodang is marked safe. Okay, Moodang's all right. I just wanted to, switch up the background, make it, we're trying to be a little bit more professional, and in a lot of the things that I do. Mads12344, member for 21 months. Happy birthday. Thank you. Sir Guard Pebble Nettle Soup. Appreciate that. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Ebar Luce for 666 says, happy birthday. Have you been watching Mushoku Tensei? I have been, I don't know whether I'm caught up 100%. I have been watching Mushoku Tensei. I have an anime segment. So if you're gonna like make me skip forward to the anime segment, I guess we can just do this. It's my birthday, so we can do this however we want. So if we're talking about like the anime list and like the things I've been watching, so Mushoku Tensei, definitely watched that. Oh, I didn't know this is what's out. So actually, I didn't even know about some of the stuff. I just pulled this up right now. Saga of Tanya the Evil. That one's actually really good. I got to catch up on that one. That one's really good. Let's see. Now I don't watch Bleach. I've seen Bleach, but I don't watch Bleach. Skeleton Knight, that's always good. Ghost in the Shell, that could be solid there. Sparks of Tomorrow, I watched that. Very cute story. I actually really like that one. So I've caught up on that one. And there's a couple others over here. But anyways, there's the Villager Level 999. I think I've seen a couple episodes of that one as well. But there's some good stuff coming out. And if you guys have any anime recommendations, I'm always taking those. So you can, shoot me over an email, message me on X, be like, hey, Legal Mindset, check this out. Always appreciate that. Tatsumi, member for 23 months, says, happy birthday, LM. Yeah, what's up? Wolfie Canum says, happy 40th, Unc Andrew. Bro, I cannot deal with it. It's too much. It's too much. Now officially in retirement. No, I'm not retiring. I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm going to be around for quite a while. Billy Aoki is a member for 35 months. Says, happy 80th birthday, Game Boy. Oh, no. You're ribbing me already. I appreciate you, brother. Stay based. Hanzo Rich for 10 says, happy birthday, brother. As an experienced 40-something, starting to go to bed at 8 p.m. Trust me. But I had fun today. Listen. 8 p.m. is a little aggressive for me. And Bangkok, the thing about living over here is it's really a place that's alive in the nighttime. And a lot of people, don't wake up till later. So I end up with this more nocturnal schedule, but it works. I think, for me, what I do is I just try to make my room as dark as possible. And I think that, like a bear and just hibernate, it tends to work out. But I'm trying to get my 8 hours of sleep normally. Leprechaun Gold for 50. Thank you so much. Extra based. Appreciate that. Let me drop the joke. Yes. Appreciate that. It says Punch Love, happy birthday. Yeah, Punch the Monkey is extremely cute. Appreciate it. Punch is up there with Mudang in the levels of cuteness. Takodachi says, from small Florida lawman to Chad cultured LM. Thank you. Happy birthday. Appreciate that. I am indeed a man of culture. Ted Park says, happy birthday. Miss you many more. Appreciate that. It was really great. I had the opportunity. I want to be a shameless plug here for the place I went. Now, this is a stock photo. I may post some actual photos on my X, but I went to Ishigaki Island. I actually was closer to a turtle than this one. So like it was even closer. The snorkeling there was so great in Ishigaki Island. It's actually south of Okinawa. It's not as visited, which is why I went, because it's smaller, kind of unknown. I like the places that not everybody goes or knows about, right? So snorkeling was amazing. I went twice. And there was lots of nice, cool little islands. You go bike around, see the beach, etc. So yeah, definitely, if you have a family too, it's a good, quiet place to take a vacation. But great for me, for my 40th. I just wanted to go by myself, do something new, and it was a very good experience. So recommend that for the people traveling out there that like travel and getting around. Patrick says, happy 40th. Go Gators. Not really Trojans fan here. Hey, it's all right. I forgive you. Not everybody is perfect. Okay. Not everybody is perfect. So yeah, no, the big 4-0. So, things I want for this channel are I want to be able to get content out quicker. I want to make my process more efficient, and I've been working on that. I hope you guys have noticed the slow improvements. Slowly, I am always improve very slowly. I'm a boomer at heart. I'm working on the technology side, working on the lighting, the studio, the presentation, the PowerPoints, and making it a little bit better over time, because my goal is not to, just get viral on one thing and then go away the next day, but be able to be covering law. I want to be able to cover legal stuff and legal news, 5, 10, 20 years from now, and be able to talk about these topics and be able to get into it and give a fair assessment. Now, I've got my personal biases. We all know that, right? I've got my personal biases, but I do try to be fair. And I've got a video coming up on Frogan. And listen, I've been hard on Frogie, okay? but she's doing some things. It looks like she's doing some things right. So I'm going to give Frogie her credit, right? Because she's doing it right. I don't care what I feel about it's not about politics, it's not about anything else. It's about, hey, listen, it's the law. She's doing things right. So you got to give a girl credit where credit is due. I'm still going to make fun of her because, come on, it's the internet. We all make fun of each other, right? But we're gonna have fun on this channel, and we're gonna learn, and that's the important thing. That you guys get educated, we have fun together, we can crack some jokes, we can have some memes, and that just makes the world a better place. I think the memes definitely make the world a better place. Aishala said, happy birthday, Legal Mindset. You're one of us now. I turned 40 in July. Oh no. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, I appreciate it. Now I'm part of that 40 club. One thing I feel good about being in Bangkok, Southeast Asia, you'll see people out here 50, 60, and they're living their life. And a lot of people, for me, I think about, getting more fit, having more strict exercise routine, being more disciplined. And, you see people in their 50s and 60s, and they can still do, marathons. They can still compete in, whatever competitions. And they can go and, be very, very healthy. Especially now where medical technology is getting better and doctors are getting better. You can be very, very active in your later years. So I'm very positive about that. I'm optimistic. I don't know. KUKAT, what's up? Member for 25 months says, happy birthday, Mr. Mindset. What's up? Wish I could stay, but I got planned my own birthday party. Well, happy birthday to you too. It's not just about me. It's about you guys too. In October, I'm going to give memberships as a birthday present. Alles Gute zum Geburtstag. Vielen Dank. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Ashala. I also got that one already. Got it. Perfect. 5 more years to go. I know. Frogie mentioned. Yeah. So that's one I've got coming up. That one's already recorded, so that one it will be with the previous lighting and the previous background. But that's one I've got coming up. Some other news, and I'll get a little preview for you guys here because it's my birthday, and we can do a little preview. Nintendo, this Nintendo payout. This is very interesting because, and this is a news that kind of slipped my radar, and I'm catching it now. But this is because I was focused on other things. Nintendo may only win $30K payout in Pokemon legal battle with Pal World developer Pocket Pair. Bro, $30K? I mean, in the legal world of corporate, which, not everybody knows about, right? That's a lot of money to a lot of people. I mean, that's a year's salary, more than a year's salary for most people in the world. But that said, in a corporate world in America, that's nothing for hiring a high tier law firm, right? These lawyers are charging ridiculous rates, right? And some people can say they're justified because they're good lawyers. I'll let those lawyers defend their practice. But $30K is like, if they're billing $1,000 an hour, that's 30 hours. It's not even 1 hour, 1 week of, billable work. So I don't know how much Nintendo's paying its lawyers, probably too much. But that is not a lot of money compared to what they wanted to get. And the bigger thing is locking down the market, which is really what, when I got into it with Pokemon and my battle with those guys, my beef with Nintendo and Pokemon and Pocket Pair is trying to lock down the market and destroy all competition, including competition that will help you in the long run. If they just thought about it, they're like, okay, this is going to build this pocket monster genre. Think about the genre. Think big picture here. This is going to build up, and we're going to be able to build on this and grow instead of just destroying and nuking from orbit anything they view as a competition. I think competition can be good. It can push you to be a little bit better, but there are limits, right? There are, of course, limits. Obviously, competition shouldn't do anything illegal, right? You shouldn't commit any crimes to compete with people. You should be, dealing with everything on the up and up. But, if you're just competing in terms of the market, in terms of people who are going to engage with your product, that's fair play. Like, let that competition go on. You let people choose, let the market decide. And I think people will make the right choices in terms of their games, right? So we're talking about games here. So in terms of games, people are going to choose the fun games. And I think we need to get back to having fun games instead of games that need to be out there to send a message or to make some sort of political point. I don't think that's something that needs to be tucked into a game. The game should be an immersive story that's there to bring enjoyment and fun and help people just maybe they need escapism, maybe they need to learn, maybe they need something out of that, but let's have some fun games, right? I think that's what we all want. We all want some fun games. Kay's Wolf for 27 as a member says, as a 46-year-old, it's rough to stay fit. Happy birthday, Legal Mindset. I know it's tough. Listen, that's the thing with me. Every time I go in the gym and I try to lift, like really, I'm doing progressive overload, so I'm trying to lift heavier. It'd be like injury, this pain, whatever, something happens, but you can't give up. You got to keep going and you got to push yourself. And that's part of it, right? You got to do things that are uncomfortable. Even if you don't want to do them, you got to push yourself to do them. And I very much believe in that, and in a way, it kind of inoculates you to that resistance. And then you push yourself even further and further. It's good. It's good. So, it's something that I want to make more of my habit. Sometimes, you have to set yourself. For me, one of the things I do, I put my like workout clothes out in the morning so I can kind of grab them and go. That helps ease the boundary there to getting out there and doing it. But it's something I need to do. We're not going to, have infirmed mindset presenting as lively as I am. I wouldn't be this lively if I wasn't feeling good. Inspector 7000 for $4.99 said, happy birthday, Legal Mindset. Have you heard the new Vic drama? Seems Maxie's contract proves she lied about a clause that can't be advertised together. I have not heard about that. I will have to look into that. I will have to inspect that, Inspector 7000. Appreciate that very much. Tormir 1308 says, congrats, I'll turn 40 in 1 week too. Well, happy birthday to you too. And let's, us 86ers over here, let's prove that we still got it. We still got it. Captain Neon 2005, member for 19 months. 19 months now, so only inching to 2 years. Hey, listen, slow progress is always how you get there. Michael Turner 9498, happy birthday, Legal Mindset. Thank you so much. He has gifted 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Hold on, we got one for that.
Hello, beso de pato, man.
Very based. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you for that. Smash the like on this. I know, once again, it's a little bit early in the US, so we're not getting, so it's not as many people as might view in the evening. And I know a lot of you guys are stateside, but I appreciate everybody who's here. For me, I remember when I started out on YouTube, I was happy to get 10, 20, 30, 40 people. So having a couple hundred of you guys here today for a short-term notice is great. Fantastic. I love it. And I appreciate everybody and every one of you. Let's see. How's the poll doing? So according to the poll, do you prefer the shorter videos, live streams, or both? Shorter videos, 12%. Also not as many of you. 23% of the live streams and 65% both. So I guess the verdict is out, and I have to listen that I need to have both. So I'm going to try to find a better balance. I think that's something that's kind of critical and I'm missing out on is a balance between the live streams and the shorter videos, because I think there needs to be a little bit of a balance there. And there's sometimes where we need to get into it and do a little debate on this. And one thing I'm looking forward to in the future, and I was talking to my friend here about setting this up, is having the ability to bring on a guest. So having a second chair, because, you never know who rocks through Bangkok, and I might be able to bring him into the studio, have him hang out, and, we can talk about some legal topics. And I would love for some of the streamers in the US, especially my friends over there, to come visit and me show them around, show them the cool stuff here, and get them on and just talk about some topics. And, on my channel, and the cool thing is we can talk about pop culture stuff and make it about the legal. We can talk about the legal stuff as well. So we can use those topics to segue into legal issues, or use news to segue into legal issues, or other deeper conversations, which I think need to be had. Garrett Griffin says, late. Happy birthday, Legal Mindset. Thank you so much. Mir 309 gifted 1 Legal Mindset membership. Thank you, one. Appreciate that one membership. Every single membership counts, and I appreciate all of you that are here today. Every single one of you is a very important viewer for me. And I also know I owe a member stream for you guys, so we'll try to get that out. I have a short, I'm going to call it a workcation. this weekend. So I'm trying to get some shorter videos out, but next week I'll be able to do another live so I can hopefully get a members out so we can talk about some topics I wouldn't normally talk about. Like, for example, this is one that came up, which was very interesting. I didn't even know about this, about Trump's executive order on psilocybin for mental health conditions. That's actually really, really interesting because this will change this will end up working like marijuana and changing the legal restrictions for enforcement and punishment for psychedelics in the US. So that's pretty crazy. And I didn't know that it was used for serious mental health conditions. So stuff like treatment-resistant depression, major depressive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. So really cool research there, cool stuff, fun topics like that. I think it'll be very interesting to see, when things come down at that level, at the top level, we're talking SCOTUS, we're talking executive orders. Those are pretty big deal. And I think those do need to be examined and talked about. Now, I'm not one who likes to talk about the politics necessary behind it, but the law and the application of the law, because a lot of times when things are passed on one level, there's other effects, right? Those trickle down to your local government, right? So that'll be very interesting. Real Max Murrah, member for 23 months, says, "Hello, happy birthday, Andrew-san. Good night too. Good night too. Appreciate you over there in Japan. Hopefully we can hang out next time I'm there." Max has really helped me out with a lot of things and always been there to be a really good friend. So thank you, Max, for being an excellent, excellent friend. Patrick S 9022, member for $10, says, "Have you paid any attention to all the red pill clowns turning on Sneeko, demanding him to be deported?" Man, the thing is, you guys know, and I don't make any attempt to hide because it's on the internet, right? That, I knew some of the Manosphere guys back in the day. And I was aware of that. I've read The Rational Male. Oh no. God forbid he's read The Rational Male. He knows the word hypergamy. So I know more about that community than definitely any other lawyer. But it's very interesting because now, especially with the case of the Tates, which I will cover, because I think there needs to be, a neutral coverage of the Tates. Because a lot of people irrationally, they just get so in their emotions about Andrew Tate. They either hate him or they love him. And I'm just giving the law. This is the law. This is what it is. We're going to see the evidence, and we don't have all the evidence right now. It's also a UK trial, so it's going to be run differently. So, it's something I'll cover to the best of my abilities, but there's a lot of infighting in those communities. As much as it should be bro code and it should be all the bros looking out for each other, that's not how it works. There's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of other stuff where people feel the need to talk bad about each other and tear each other down for content. And I think one thing that's unfortunate is people can't build together. And that's a cool thing about LawTube, which I like being part of LawTube. I like being part of the legal community because we can have debates, we can argue, and we can disagree with each other even strongly. And I can have other lawyers, which happens all the time, saying I'm wrong about that. And I might be wrong about that. There's things I could be wrong about. Maybe I missed a procedural step that they're aware of that I'm not aware of. Hey, that happens. We all come together to make each other better and improve. And when I learn something, I share that with you guys. As my knowledge updates, I update you guys. That's the actual learning process. And that's something that makes the whole community better. And I think that needs to apply for a lot of other communities. And it's not just that red pill stuff. It's in general, the anime community, right? VTubing community. A lot of these communities can use a lot more consensus and a little bit less. We just blindly hate these people, but we're getting away from the facts. Like, let's actually pay attention to some of the facts and the evidence without just blindly hating these people. Because sometimes with content, people focus too much on just, I hate this, I hate this, Therefore, I'm angry, but there's no call to action to do anything, to learn something or to grow from that. It's just, hey, I hate this. And, for me, I don't consume content that is just trying to make me rage, right? That's not productive. That's not helping me learn. Um, and that's something I want to make sure my channel is doing. Now, I haven't always been perfect. Fair enough. I've leaned into the clickbait, and sometimes I've got the people that I like to poke fun at, right? That's very fair criticism, but I still like to present the law in at least a fair way, right? We can still make fun of people and be fair. SpartanBot 1001, member for 29 months. Happy birthday. Last I saw with 40 million suit by Nintendo. Yeah, it's kind of an update there, a strange update with the 30K. And we'll see where that goes. So we'll see where that ends up, because to me, I think Nintendo really does have this internal instinct to crush competition, and I wouldn't put Nintendo down without a fight. I think Nintendo, especially when it comes to Pokemon, which is something that's so sacred for them, right? They're going to definitely try to, go down swinging. Now that said, they might be able to, once again, I think they can compromise with Pocket Pair. I think if there's things that they genuinely feel were taken from a Pokemon game and those were mechanics that were quote unquote stolen, or not stolen, but inappropriately used or should not have been used, right? Then they can talk about those on an individual basis and try to hash those out and settle that issue. But them trying to dominate the entire Pocket Monster genre, no. Speaking of dominate, Mexican Iron Man for 50 legal mindset memberships. We got to talk. Do we have any Disney? I need to see. I need to check back on. Is Disney behaving itself? Is Disney being a good boy? I don't know. I mean, now I will say shout out to Mexican Iron Man. Great coverage. He was a real homeboy back when I was talking about Reedy Creek Special Districts, which was one of my many special, but that's one of my key specialties when I was back in Florida. And that was just such a fascinating saga and so unique. And that battle really didn't end in a way that was as flashy as I think people wanted, or even maybe I wanted to cover the news, but it ended in a very governmental way, right? We're going back to business, right? And that's where, even at my heart, when I covered that, I said, look, we got to get back to business here. We got to get back to making money. As a Floridian who lived in Orlando, everybody benefits when tourism is up. Nobody is benefiting when people are fighting. Nobody is benefiting when the state is fighting tourism, or they're fighting major companies, or they're fighting major businesses. That's not a benefit to anybody, right? We need everybody to know, in Florida, for example, with the theme parks, that it's safe, that it's fun, and it's a place that is providing new adventures, new things. They opened up the new Universal theme park there. Shout out to my former client. And that's what you want to see. So, and hopefully that can carry over into other mediums, right? That's what a lot of people want to see, is they want to see fun games, fun movies, and things that are just like genuinely fun. Right? You go into a movie, for example, and it's genuinely fun, or watch a TV show that's genuinely fun, right? Which is why a lot of people turn to anime, turn to other things, because they looked at Hollywood and said, hey, this is just not fun, right? There's no escapism here, right? We're brought in with all these other, things they're saying, some of which are overt, some of which are subliminal, and some of which are in the gray zone, right? So like casting, for example, when they make casting choices, right? They can make excuses and say what it is, but we know, right? Hunch the Dirty Roofer. Happy birthday, bud. Appreciate that. Thank you. Spartan Bot says, I think they meant 40 million. Thank you for the correction. Jace gets for 5. Happy birthday, brother. I may not agree with you all the time, but I appreciate the quality of your videos and I always enjoy the fast facts. And I appreciate you being here and saying that, because I am totally okay with people not agreeing. And if people are respectful like you are, like that, hey, I don't agree with you on that. And you can even say, hey, here's why, right? Or, hey, have you considered this? I'm open to listening, right? I'm always open to listening to people that disagree with me and give a reason. Now, if they just say, hey, F you, I don't agree with you, well, there's nowhere to go from there. Where do we go from there? You got to have something to continue the conversation. Mexican Iron Man member for 50 months says, happy birthday, my long and great brother. Wow, I've been here more than 4 years. Appreciate that. 4 years as a member. That is giga based. Hold on. We got definitely some good stuff for that. Let's do hold on. I like
nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
That's like the Disney financials, right? Okay. I can't say. I take that back, Disney. Don't sue me. Okay. They didn't totally make it up. All right. They just had some magical wording, right? It's good stuff. Very good stuff. All right. Kathy Swamp Queen for 20 says, live while you're young. Life's journey is not to arrive at a grave safely in a well-preserved body, but rather skid in the sideways, totally worn out, shouting, holy, what a ride. Happy birthday, old Florida lady. Thank you. And look, as a Florida man, I'm naturally a little wild, okay? Florida men are a little wild. I'm not from Miami, too. I like the 305, okay? So, we're a little wild. We're a little crazy. As long as I'm not skidding into Skid Row, I'm okay, and that's something that, we're going to try to avoid there, but just enjoying yourself. For me, it's having a balance of enjoying myself and getting my work done. And that's the thing that, sometimes it falls out of proportion. This week is my birthday week, so I'm cutting myself some slack this week to enjoy myself a little bit more than I would. But, to have a good balance between that, right? Enjoying your life and getting things done, right? And yeah, I always enjoyed coming to do YouTube. And one of the reasons why I prefer doing YouTube over traditional corporate work, sitting in an office, having that 9 to 5 or 9 to, in the legal world, 8 o'clock to 8 p.m., having that sort of lifestyle, only having a couple hours for myself and not having the freedom to live my life how I want to live it, which ultimately I think has a lot of value. That has value that you can't put a price tag on. It's very difficult. There's a numbers that can convince you, right? There's the golden chain, right? Or what is it called? The golden collar, right? Or the golden handcuffs. Actually, that's the better one. The golden handcuffs, pay you so much that you're willing to come and sell your soul. But we're not selling souls here. Okay. We're able to actually have freedom and balance out and get some work done here. And thank you to my editor for helping me do that. I wouldn't be able to do that without Noirs, right? Which is the that name. But does a great job with my editing, and big thank you to him. And Biddy Bidigs for 2,000 yen says, hey, happy 14th birthday. Sorry, 40th birthday. Hey, it's what is it, like the 19th anniversary of my 21st, right? Kanpai senpai, nomi hodai. Nomi hodai. I will have a beer for you. I will have it. You know what? I will find a Japanese beer for you tonight, because I have some friends that want to take me out again tonight. So I'm just going to have to suffer through enjoying my birthday. Derp 21, member for 25 months, says, happy birthday, Base Law Man. Thank you so much. Cold Kid, member for 14, says, happy birthday, Legal Mindset. Congrats on joining the new 30. Appreciate it. Sonia Chris says, happy birthday, Long Florida Man. Let's play the Long Man has not come out in a while. We got to play the Long Man clip.
Long man.
Sambe, our 15 Norwegian krona, says, love the suits and the blazers. How big is your closet? It's actually really good. It's a walk-in. It's not a walk-in, but it's got both sides. So I need a lot of space. That's one thing. If I move, I got to make sure the closet's big enough for my wardrobe of blazers and suits. But thank you. And I have a great tailor here. I get my stuff custom made because I am a giant, but I appreciate their work, and they always do a great job. Squid 510 for 2 says, as 305 man, how do you feel about 786? Well, considering I had a 786 number at first because all the mobile numbers were sold out for 305, but I got one for business purposes. So, excuse me. So I got a little cough here. So yeah, no, I like the 786 people. They're good too. They're good people too. Alan Paley for 10 Canadian. What's up, Canada? I got to blame everything on Canada. Although I have a Canadian friend I'm thinking of right now, who I hope he can visit me in Thailand very soon. He's the coolest Canadian I know. He's Korean Canadian. So maybe the based Korean balances out the Canadian. I don't know. But shout out to all you based Canadians out there too. My gift to you, Gucci Marks, was You're Hurting Me So Bad. AI music video on YouTube, misgif satire, manic hyperpunk, misgif as a plushy loving e-girl, clean lyrics. Okay, that's that's definitely a script there. Let me I should take a hold on. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that one, and I'm gonna take a photo of that and generate that later. That's a good one. Okay, I'll generate that one later. Zero UE 622 for 10 says, happy birthday, Legal Mindset. Love your fast facts videos. Thank you. And works wonders when I don't have time to watch the whole stream. Yeah, and I think there's a balance, right? Because some people just don't have the time. Some people have TikTok brain, have ADHD. I get it. I understand. Listen, I try to make things quick and easy because for me, that's also the way that I try to consume stuff in order to research quickly and then check details I need to check and then get information out to you. So yeah, the fast facts aren't going anywhere. The shorter videos aren't going anywhere, but I think I need to do more lives. And I did make previously the thought that I should do 1 or 2 lives a week. And I think that's something that's very doable and attainable goal. You know, if I get one done, this month I'm a little busy. If I get one done every week this month, I think that's actually a major improvement. And then we can work on adding it more in September, October, etc., especially as trials pick up. Patrick S9022 for 20 says there was an announcement of a reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street from Paramount, given the okay from the Craven estate. Warner Brothers also announced a reboot since they have intellectual rights. Who exactly owns the franchise? I don't know that. That's not something I would know off the top of my head. Of course, I've watched Nightmare on Elm Street many a time. See if we can figure this out. So I guess, yeah. So, I mean, it may be bifurcated, right? So between the estate of Wes Craven and Paramount for the reboot. Well, I mean, yeah. So that's it. Well, Warner Brothers and New Line have the international rights, according to, well, it's Wikipedia, so you got to check that fact. Trust but verify nowadays, guys, especially with Wikipedia. You gotta keep your eye on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, a little sus, okay? Wikipedia's a little sus. But yeah, Wes Craven. So apparently, Wes Craven's estate reclaimed the domestic rights to the original 1984 film screenplay under the U.S. copyright termination laws. Interesting. Very interesting area of the law, especially when it comes to, like, I think with copyright, the expiration of copyright, things going away. We've had fun with the Steamboat Willie, where we made the comic because that expired, that went into the public domain. So I think that's actually fascinating. And honestly, I think there should be more works that are done on stuff, and can't wait for the age when, films and movies and stuff can be put out very easily on public domain stuff, and people can come up with their own stories, right? And their own versions. And I guarantee you some of those indie projects would blow Hollywood out of the water, which is why Hollywood's probably afraid of it. I mean, let's be honest. Okay. What do we got here? Mike'em76 for 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Kathy Swamp Queen says, we the 305s are crazy. I survived the 80s, 786 late bloomers. Yeah, I'm a little wild, but I have my methods, I have my thoughts, and I have my balance, right? A lot of people would not recognize me if you see me as Legal Mindset in the suit. I'm not rocking around in suits. I'm dressed very casually. Sometimes I'm dressed much differently than I'm dressed right now. So, vacation mindset definitely is not the same as Legal Mindset, but that's part of the fun of it. Siffy Freak for 1499 super sticker. Appreciate the super sticker. Let me see if I can get to that here. The ice cream and the cake super sticker. I appreciate both. Although I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm trying not to eat too much cake. Not too much cake. Just enough cake to enjoy myself. Okay. All right. 40 minutes we got here. So another thing that I think is very important to analyze is the SCOTUS decisions. And I want to find a way to make that more engaging because the Supreme Court decisions that come down in the US are super important and they have such weight, but there's got to be ways that creatively I can do so. That's one of my projects, is to work on how to make SCOTUS more sexy. It's hard because they're, older people in robes, right? But what comes down and the decisions that come down are super important. So there needs to be that information that's communicated very simply in a fun way, so you guys know how important these decisions are that come down through the courts, because those decisions can set policy, can set the course of the country for decades and beyond, 50 years, 100 years. So very important. So one thing I want to work on there, one of my goals. Lee for 20 with a super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Very, very based. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And appreciate all you guys who have been supporting me. Like I said, I couldn't do this without you guys. And I want to get back to having streams. And of course, we'll still do this with streams that, we got 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 3,000 people tuning in. We get that for the bigger topics and the topics that are trending for sure. But that's kind of the happy spot that I think we were at, and we're going to try to get back there to that goal. But I'm happy with the hundreds of you guys that showed up today just for my birthday, specifically for my birthday. Can't say I got driving last. Happy birthday. Appreciate that. And we'll see what other things I do. Another little point is I have been thinking for the past year, I have been going back and forth on other content I can do. Do I stick to legal content? I'm still not 100% decided on that. But I do think I have some opportunities to create other types of content. And maybe what'll work out is maybe there'll be just products that I'm working on or projects that I'm working with, or I'll partner with other people. Because, as I'm 40, I love doing Legal Mindset, I love doing the channel, but I like other projects. I want other things to do, right? Other than just this specific content. I want to have other engaging stuff. So don't be surprised if you see other things I'm doing or other ways I'm branching out. And as soon as I do those things, you guys will be first to know. But the real first to know are the locals. So if you guys are part of my locals community, you really know first. You really get the updates and the personal chat on locals. So appreciate everybody who's over there, a member on locals. I appreciate and love you guys. Yeah, Tectone got married. I did not officiate, although I would have been happy to get ordained and officiate for Tectone. I'm very happy for him, man. It is rare in this era to see people getting into happy relationships and getting married. So I am all for, promoting marriage and getting into that. There's some people that aren't ready for it. And there's some people that aren't made for it at all. There's some people that probably should never get married, right? Because they don't have the proper communication skills or they don't have the proper frame of mind, right? To be in a long-term partnership. There's certain people it's not made for, and there's things they can do as single people that are just great and fine and dandy. But yeah, I'm really happy for Tectone. I mean, genuinely, that he found a good partner, and hopefully he's having a great time. I mean, that's what you should do as newlyweds, right? Just be enjoying yourselves. Chaos Smash 64, member for 23 months, says, can't stay, got a driving lesson. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Cool Kid says, Legal Mindset, same age as Transformers 86. He's got the touch. There we go. Mike'em 76 for 1,000 years. Happy birthday. Come back to Tokyo for your real party. I'm ready for a Tokyo party. I am ready for a Tokyo party. I was in Osaka and I was in Ishigaki. Osaka, I had a good time, but I was by myself. I met with my good friend, Meme Copium, Josh. We had a great time together, hanging out, broing out. He needs to lose some weight though. So I was busted his balls about that. As a bro naturally does. And, but Tokyo is always so fun for me. It's like Tokyo is like 20 cities in one, right? But if I was in Tokyo, in this trip, I was trying not to drink. I was actually taking a period of time where I was not drinking at all. And I broke that with I kind of broke the drinking fast with my birthday. So I didn't want to go to Tokyo where the temptation is too high to not go to Golden Guy or not go out and, party or go to some of the clubs I like there, or the bars I like there. The temptation is too high in Tokyo. It's too high. So I had to stay away from Tokyo, but I'll be back. I'll be back to Tokyo, and Max will be there hanging out with me for sure. 100%. And maybe we'll do a meetup. We can figure out how to do that. I've wanted to do that in the past, but I just have to figure out how to do it correctly. But that said, guys, I am going to go enjoy some food with I'm going to enjoy some food with some friends and enjoy the rest of my evening. So I'm going to be taking off here. I just want to do a stream to say thank you, guys. Appreciate that. And appreciate all of you guys. So thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. And I hope you enjoy the rest of my content. And always feel free to shoot me an email, andrewesquire@gmail.com. If you have any topic suggestions, you have anything you think I should cover, I am open-minded to cover a lot of different topics. And I know we'll also be covering the DoorDash girl. So that's another one that's coming up. I know Grandpa Tozy did that one recently. Really good video, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper on the legal stuff. So we'll be getting into that, and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Like the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Make sure you are not coping and seething.
You are coping and seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing. It's you coping and seething, but your fate is all day, and now you are molding.